Welcome back. You're big on social media. You have, I think, over 180,000 followers on Twitter.
222.
Oh, 222, wow. You know the exact numbers. You often trend using different sorts of hashtags. At what point did you decide that social media platforms couldn't be ignored and you needed to get active on them?
One, it was that I have a lot of things that go on in my head. And these things that go on in my head bother on current affairs. I needed to have a window of expression. I had Facebook, and I used to use that a lot. And then I write. And a lady, Biola, decided to introduce me to Twitter. And I said, you think it's okay? She said, no, that Twitter is also nice. It's for spontaneous people like you. As the thoughts come to you, just hit it out. And I said, oh, really? So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I registered, I set up the account. And when I set up the account, she was like, you set up this account for like a week now, you have not written anything. I said, oh, I'm supposed to write something. She said, no, every day as you have the time, once the idea crosses your... And really, it was just something that I was already doing, because I have these notepads that every time something comes to my head, I jot it down. I probably will go back and flesh it out.
How easy was it for you to get into the discipline of saying things in 140 characters? I kind of struggle with that.
Well, we grew up doing telegrams back in the days. and then we also had learned summary as in English. But the other thing is that once you have your words all checked out, and because the thing is that a word can convey what a long sentence can say.
And so you basically took to it like a duck to water. That's
exactly.
What you're... So the 200,000 plus people that follow you on Twitter, what do you think it is that you give them that, make them your followers? What do you think they gain out of being a follower of Alibaba? A
lot of them know that I do not mince words. A lot of them also know that every now and then I can tweet some very funny stuff. So if you're following me, you just get a good laugh. You probably need it when you're very stressed up in the office. And then... So
the comedy is still coming through.
It has to. Twitter. It has to come. It comes through in everything that we do. Once you're a comedian, you only have to curtail the amount of humor that comes out of it. So you control it yourself, but you can let it go. So Twitter has been a good platform that I used to express myself, and then Instagram came as well, and so I like photography. I actually have a book on photography, and I thought that.
So you take pictures yourself?
I take pictures, okay. And then when I take pictures, I milk out humor from my pictures, and which is why my photography is called Photo Laughs. Instead of photographs, it's Photo Laughs. And so I think social media has not only been a platform for expression, it's a platform for learning. There's sometimes I go on that timeline, and all I just do is just get to soak in the stuff that people are saying, how they're saying it, what is going on, the current issues.
And this feeds into your material.
Exactly,
as well.
And then you just take them in and store away. And as a comedian, there will be a time that you're on stage performing, and the total recall will help you.
Now, there was a time when there was talk of you doing some sort of live show in the sort of likes of The Daily Show.
I have a radio show, Alibaba Seriously, and it airs every day from 2 to 4 p.m. every weekday.
Which stations?
On Nigeria Info, 99.3.
And is it live?
It's live.
Okay.
It's live. And on that show, we discuss anything. We discuss any and everything. Then we created this show called the January 1st concert. My January 1st concert came from the fact that I realized, and if you think back as well, you find that after the crossover service on the 31st of December, people just lazy about at home on January 1st. Yeah. And sometimes when people want to come visit you, you are either not very happy because you too wanted to go visit some other people. And so we created a show called January 1st. But we did not only create the show January 1st, we also added an award to a student who had a first class. Because first class students are people who forgot about every other thing and faced their education. And we thought there was need to reward such people for being so devoted to academic excellence. We also thought that there were people who have done something for the first time in Nigeria. The first chartered accountant, the first female pilot, the first Nobel laureate, the first female chief justice, and people who did something.
So it's an award show.
So there's an award to roll into the comedy show.
And it's an annual thing.
It's an annual thing, and it started January 1st.
What about this spontaneity?
Spontaneity is about redefining and re-strategizing the comedy industry. We need to begin to get the fourth generation. When I say fourth generation, there's been about like 3 generations of comedians. The idea is for comedians to learn to be quick on their feet, think fast, and be creative and be original. And the originality of a comedian is one thing that will make him last long in the business. And so we thought about having a program where comedians come on stage, pick a piece of paper that has a topic, and they just run off with it. The idea is that only the best can survive such. And so we work on selecting 3 every quarter and have these 3 take part. All 4 of them, all 12 of them will now take part at
a proper show.
At the proper show, at the January 1st concert.
What does the future hold for comics in Nigeria, do you think?
The platform will grow because once we get digital, once television stations or radio stations go digital, then you can have 99.10, 99.8, 99.9, 99.
So many stations.
So many stations. But the point I'm trying to make is that the reason why, if you do that now and you're not digital, a lot of stations will be crossing and clashing. And so there's need for all those TV stations to come and provide platforms for a lot of all these young comedians to express themselves. You also need a lot of these comedians to market the talent and content that they have. Television stations need content. Overseas, you have the Jimmy Fallon and the Jay Leno and all that, and they all have TV shows from, now that we have 24/7 broadcasts, it means that content needs to be provided.
So the future is bright in your view?
The future is, because if as comedians now, if we're a software, we're just about like 45% booting.
45% booting.
I'm telling you.
Now, among the young upcoming comedians, who do you like?
It will be a hard question to answer because most of all these comedians...
Really like?
Yes, I'm telling you. Most of all these comedians have a unique, a USP, a unique selling point that appeals to me differently. I could like MC Abe for how spontaneous he is. I could like Akpororo for his craziness. And you can tell that Akpororo's performance and MC Abe's performance are different, but not miles apart, but they're different. You could say you like Bovey because of his political jokes and how well he tailors them to match the situation. And it's different from Basket Mouse kind of joke, which is like punchy and spicy. And then it's different from Akpororo as well.
Let me ask another question.
Yeah.
Who shouldn't be doing comedy?
Oh, there are many.
Who should pack up and go and look for another career?
Oh, just like they say on the weakest link.
Yes.
There's several, but the thing is that some people believe that coming into the business is their last lifeline. And what I do is that I try to get them close, and I do this a lot. If I see somebody who I think has nothing to offer in the, I'll call him and try and push him to a limit. If he doesn't break, then I think he has something. But if he doesn't have anything, I'll tell you straight that you can't stay in the business. Find something else to do. I could say, okay, go into television, go into acting, or I think you can write better. You know? But there's several of them that shouldn't be in the business.
If the information I have is right, you'll be turning 50 this year.
Allegedly, yes.
So, is there any plan for you to put up something comical to mark this milestone? Or is it just going to be party Niger style?
Well,
So we're not going to have like a big comedy event with all the big stars coming to pay tribute to you. And
I probably will do another 6 hours. I probably will do another 6 hours. I've done a 6 hours straight before, so I probably will do another 6 hours and call it another 6 hours, just like you have the Murphy's 24 hours and another 24 hours, another 48 hours. And so I probably will have another 6 hours, you know. But and I have books coming out. I have about like 3 books that are coming out. I have a book on the business of entertainment. I have another book on knock-knocks. I created knock-knock jokes that are Nigerian names.
And I think you should end this program with a knock-knock joke.
Okay. What's your surname?
Ahmed.
Okay. All right. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Ahmed.
Ahmed who?
I've met you. And I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you so much, Alibaba,
Thank you.
for being a guest on the program.
Thank you, ma'am.
You've been watching Straight Talk with me, Kadaria Ahmed, and my guest was pioneer stand-up comedian Alibaba. We discussed the business of laughter, the role of comedy in nation building, and his new talent show. Join me next week when I'll be in conversation with another special guest. Have a good evening.